When couples go into marriage, they don't go empty-handed. They go with so much expectations, and some of this expectation is from their background, their experience, their culture, from the movies they watch, and maybe from their religion background. And this expectation is not a problem. The main problem is these expectations are silent. So by the end of this video, you'll be knowing what silent expectation is, how they destroy early marriage, and how to fix silent expectation. Now, silent expectation are observations you believe to be visible, but your spouse has never accepted them, agreed to it. Example of silent expectation is you should know. Most people come into marriage believing love equals mind reading. We just go on reading mind, thinking our partner ought to know what we need or the rest. Well done, sir. Well done. So we go into marriage believing our spouse ought to know what we need without telling them. But in reality is this. Many people, the husband, the wife, come into marriage with different background, different reality, different experience, and even different needs. So when you don't communicate this, it becomes a challenge. In my marriage, this silent expectation was me expecting my spouse to prepare the meal immediately I come back, eat, because I'm the type that I don't like eating outside. I like coming home, eating at home. So each time I come home, my spouse will it's when I get to the house, she will start maybe preparing the food, or sometimes warming. Initially, I thought she was preparing the food. I never knew she was warming it. And to me, I was very hungry. I normally go home very hungry. So I expect to meet the food. And in the first 8 months, it resolved to quarrel. And it was after deliberating, arguing, talking, that I later discovered that my spouse, my wife, was used to seeing her mother warm her dad's food before, she serves her dad. So she learned from that. So I had to speak up and tell her, no, I want the food served immediately I come, whether cold or warm. So silent expectation, not observation. I keep making mistakes saying silent observation. Expectation is just centered on assumption. We assume. And like I told you, that incident really changed how I reason now, how I behave. I don't just assume, because I assume a wife that I married should know that when I come home, I need to eat. So that was a really, really big challenge in the first 8 months, like I said. Now, another silent expectation is marriage will change you. See, this is where most people going to marriage get it wrong. Marriage don't change anybody. Marriage don't change anybody. Marriage reveal habits. So in Africa, or I don't know whether in US, UK, Canada, or in the Western world, we believe this, but in Africa, it's widely believed, especially in Nigeria, that when a man is not misbehaving, not behaving normal, what will calm him down, it's getting him a wife. That when we get him a wife, he will start marriage, will humble him, make him behave normal, make him be responsible. But the reality, we forget, I don't know whether it worked in the past, but in this era, it doesn't work. And in reality, it just helps cage an innocent lady in the union of marriage. When a lady, an innocent lady, get married to a man who is irresponsible, she suffers for it. And this is predominantly in the middle belt and parts of the country. In middle belt, you will see some marriages where the husband and wife have been married for years. Well done, sir. The husband and wife have been married for years, maybe 20, 30. And if you're not careful, you use that as the basis to judge a successful marriage, you'll be wrong. What happens there is that marriage has been there for 20, 30 years because of tolerance, endurance. The religion practices there, especially the churches, emphasize stability in marriage. Whether the marriage is working or not, you see them standing, still staying, tolerating, and the rest. And we assume that marriage, it's like that. Yeah, the marriage is stable. We believe years of marriage equals marriage stability and marriage progress and happiness. So this marriage will change you. It's something that's lured many people into it. Even men fall into this. They assume that, okay, this lady's like this, she misbehaved because she's not yet married. When I marry her, she knows she's married, she will behave herself, she will not, she will be responsible. And they go into marriage only for the woman's behavior, habit to surface, to be revealed. Just day before yesterday, I went to buy food close to my office downstairs, and I heard this man shouting. He hit the ground, bent down, hit the ground. My brother will never marry her again. If he does, we will disown him. And when I stood to understand what happened, we learned that the brother who just got married last year, October, went home and caught his wife here in Abuja with her ex in their matrimonial bed having sex. So I don't know. I'm not trying to justify that that's an habit that's been hidden all this while. What I'm just trying to say is that marriage will change you most often. It's not always true. Now, another silent expectation is love me the way I expect. We come into marriage with so much expectation, but in marriage, there will always be a mismatch in emotional expectations. We have different love language, different needs. So you can't be loved. You can't expect your spouse to love you, treat you the way you want without communicating. So I want you to take it off your mind that you'll be loved the way you want it without really communicating, saying it the way you want it, and the rest. So please don't expect that if you coming into marriage and you're thinking your spouse should love you the way you expect or treat you the way you expect, it's not going to be possible. Because why? Everyone has different definition, different worldview when it comes to love and the rest. Now, the fourth expectation that is so silent is I will sacrifice secretly and I will be noticed. This is a tough one. Really, really tough one. There's so much noise here, so maybe I will move somewhere less noisier. I'll move somewhere less noisier. I tell you, there will be so much noise here. Now, another silent expectation, it's I will sacrifice secretly and I will be noticed and appreciated. This is a very deep one. This is a very, very deep one. This has thrown many marriages into frustration, into quarrels, and the rest. Like this really happened to me some years back. I remember when I was working in a job that took me away from home. I spent weeks at the job, and what I was paid was not enough for me to build my content, buy gears for my content. So I decided to look for means on how to make more money so that I can work on my content, buy lights, buy tripod, buy mic and the rest. So in my place of work, we were being fed 3 times in a day, and I never liked the food they serve. So I decided to be getting food elsewhere. And the people working close to the company where I worked, they don't give their workers food. So they go a far distance, they walk a far distance to buy food. So one came to me and said, "You don't eat?" I said, "Yes." "So I'll be buying your food." So I started selling my food. I just eat maybe once in a day and maybe twice in a day. I never really liked. And I was generating a lot of money. And the money I was making, I was adding it to the salary, showing it to my wife, because my wife not always knew what I was making. And I expected my wife to Babe, you are trying. Wanted her to appreciate me, tell me how great I am, how sacrificial, how sacrificing I am. Did I say sacrificial? No, how sacrificing I am, and the rest. But I never saw it coming. I got frustrated. It got to a time where I decided to withdraw the money. I just had to wait for these cabs passing so that I can, so that you can hear me well. So it got to a time where I had to withdraw the money I was bringing to the family through my meal I was selling, my lunch and dinner that I was selling, and it brought a quarrel. You now do this, you now do that, and I was saying, this money I was saving it to like buy my gears, but I felt the money was so small, so let me bring it to the family. But since you never appreciated it, I've used it to buy some tripod and microphone to do my videos and the rest. And it really brought quarrel. I'm telling you the truth. It led to so much quarrel in the marriage, and that really broke my heart. So that thing taught me something. Don't assume you will sacrifice silently and your spouse will know and appreciate you. Now, how silent expectations destroy marriages? I will just share some few that's occurred in my marriage. One, it leads to the feeling of unseen. It hurts so bad when you put in, you expect so much in marriage, especially when you've put in your best and we're feeling unseen. And the most painful thing is that your spouse might not be the one responsible for that feeling unseen. It's because the expectations are silent, you never communicated about them, and you are being ignored. So it leads to feeling unseen. The second way silent expectation destroys marriage, it leads to emotional withdrawals. You tend to like withdraw from seeking your meeting your partner, sharing emotional needs, emotional exchange. You distance yourself and just like feeling, how do I say it? I don't know. I lack words saying this. Husband and wife living together, but they are like flatmates, no emotional connection. They hardly have sexual intercourse or sexual intimacy. Even when they do, it's just the one they call dutiful sex, not love making. And the sad thing about this, it's something that could have been prevented if expectations were communicated. So these are ways silent expectation destroys marriage in the early years before the couples even realize. Now, this is how you can fix silent expectations. Communicate your needs. Your spouse is not a mind reader. Tell your spouse how you want it. This is one mistake I made. I never told my wife. Up till now, I'm still telling her that my love language is appreciation. And maybe because I never communicated that so early in the marriage, she's still learning to adapt to accept it. She's still finding it hard to accept. And the other way you can fix silent expectation is to stop assumption. Communicate, interact, don't bring assumptions. Don't just assume your spouse will know. Communicate, say it. Say it. If there is anything I learn in marriage, and if there's anything I want to really work on, if I could bring back the hands of time in my marriage, if I was just getting into marriage, this is one thing I would do. I would stop assuming and communicate. Tell my spouse the way it is. All the quarrels we had in marriage, it's because I never communicated, and my spouse said she never knew my needs, she never understood my needs and the rest. So please speak early, don't assume, communicate those needs. Now, marriage works better when there is communication and not assumption. If you want honest and experienced conversation like this, hit the subscribe button so that you'll be notified whenever I upload a video. Because I upload at least one video every week. Thank you.